Hi everybody, Kat here. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to show you, it's going to be a short video. I just wanted to show you the easiest flowers ever. I was playing around with my paints. When you don't know what to paint, you should get all your stuff out and just put paint on the paper. And make sure it's cheap paper because then you won't care so much. And sometimes you just come up with these ideas, or your hand starts making these shapes and it turns into something. And in my case, it was the easiest flowers I've ever painted in my life. So I was fooling around with my dagger brush here, but if you don't have one, that's okay. And I was also fooling around with this. This is a pointed, you see how flat that is? And then it comes, it's like that, and then it comes to a point. And this is a Princeton oval wash, they call it. So I'm going to start with that one. And for the first couple, please forgive me if my arm's in the way. I'm going to be standing up. Okay, I've put my paper into a landscape situation here so that it shows up a bit better on the camera. And I'm going to start with some yellow. So I'm dabbing into my yellow, and then I'm brushing off one side of it. I still want it to be a bit watery, but a little less paint there. So I'm going to just dab up and down, just like that. And then I'm going to come around that petal and dab up and down and leave some white space. Let's do a pink one. Too much shadow here. I'm going to come closer like that. I'm going to move my light so you can see a little better. So, right around. And then I'm going to come in like this. You can still see that I have some yellow in my brush, which is just fine with me. Just bring the darker color towards the center. Now I'm going to go in with a more concentrated pink. And you know why doing flowers is fun and it's fun to learn is because your paintings are never a waste if you learn how to paint flowers. I'm not much of a flower painter, but what I do find is they come in handy. They really come in handy when you're looking for a card. There, you see I went around that one petal and it kind of, so it looks like, let me just smooth that one out. It looks like the center is down here and everything's, anyway, you get it. You get what I'm doing. Okay, one more pink one. I'm going to put another pink one over here. Like that. Ooh, look at that one. That one's beautiful. Nice and concentrated pink. And there. Maybe one more like that. It's hard to say no to that pink. Okay, one more here. Bit more concentrated paint on the point of your brush only. When you lift your brush, try to be in the down zigzag position towards that petal. Because when you lift a wet brush, it always leaves a blob and your dark color will be on the top of the petal instead of the bottom. So as I was saying, it's really fun to learn how to paint flowers because for one, you never have too many flowers in your life, and for two, you can use these as cards. If you have so many practice flowers, you can always use them as cards. Okay, so I'm just going to try and reorient a couple of these. So I'm putting this in a bit of a different direction. I'm standing up to paint so that you can see what I'm doing a little better. Whoops. Ooh, that one's going to be a very long one. There we go, that's okay. Okay, I'm not fond of that one, but let's carry on. So now I'm going to leave a bit of orange on my brush. If you can see it's still in there, it's wet. And I'm gonna soak up some of this yellow and see if I get a combination of the two. Okay. Okay, gonna come around, and then I'm gonna come around there, gonna come around there, and there. Maybe I'll put a few petals in the front here, like that. One down here. And don't be too careful about your color placement, because I find the nicest, you know, when my kids were young, you know, I would just give them whatever crayons and whatever paint they wanted to use. I just added a little bit of paint there because that's too watery. So watch this. I don't like that. I'm going to soak it up. I'm not rubbing. I'm just absorbing. Lift it. And I'm going to wait till that dries, and I'm going to do it again. So when they were young, I always found their artwork, the colors were so striking. And I think it's because kids don't think about where they're putting everything. They don't fret over it. They just put it where they want it. They don't think about it, so like we do. Okay, so I'm going to fix this one. I think it's dry enough. I'm using very inexpensive paper here today. So pink and yellow, make a nice peachy color. Pink, yellow, and I'll come around like that. This is a savior. There we go. So you just have to zigzag, zigzag, and that's it. Okay, so now I'm going to add a few stems. Because I'm using this yellow, I'm going to grab some, this is marine blue. And this is Indian yellow. Make a nice bright green. And we're going to, I'll do the front ones first. I'll do the lower ones first. Sometimes what I do, I'm right-handed, so I turn my book so that the bottom is facing right. My painting, excuse me. And I just make lines from that direction. This one's a bit thin. Let's see. Oh, that's not bad. Sometimes I ruin it when I try to fix it. Okay, and this one. Whoop. A little bit dry. Make sure your brush is really full of paint. I'm using a rigger brush. Now these ones will come behind the flowers. You can have it go in front, but I don't want to cover my nice flowers that I just painted. You know, I can't tell you enough how important it is to doodle. That one's gonna come that way. It's the perfect way to hone your skills all while relaxing. I must have painted 100 of these flowers today, and I had no intention of doing so. I just got out some supplies and started doodling. I watched the paints bleed into each other, and I practiced different brush strokes, etc. But I recommend using an inexpensive paper for this. You'll have a lot less stress about waste if you do. My paints last a long time. I think you can buy paints, pretty good quality paints, for very reasonable prices. And so I don't worry about wasting paint. I do worry when I'm wasting paper. It's like too precious or something. I don't know. So all that to say, try to just get some cheap paper that you like and practice. Just doodle. It's kind of fun. Okay, so this one, this is my dagger brush. So I'm going to practice using my dagger brush. I need a bit more concentrated paint here. Okay, and we'll come up there. This one I'll come down there. There. I'm just playing. I have no plans. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just playing. And it's so important to do that. Now I'm going to come the opposite direction and see what my brush does when I do it this way. That's kind of fun. I can even make the stem a little thicker if I like. Yeah. I notice on YouTube when people doodle, they often they add other media, so you can also do that. There we go. It's kind of fun. So you can fill this entire page and keep practicing with your brushes. You can do it in more than one layer if you like. I will do one like that. I'll do it in 2 steps. So since I like this pink so much, I'm going to put one over here. Whoops. The difficult thing about this movement is that my arm is not resting anywhere. It's up in the air. And I think that's important to practice as well. That's such an interesting color. It's just really pale. So that was the pink and this yellow. Oh, that's too orange. Let's see if I can do it over here. So since I added one, I'll put one over here. Yeah, that's not bad. Now I'm going to let these dry, and we'll see if it makes any difference when you go around them. But do practice. Practice not resting your hand. Practice doing these funny motions. And because the more skill you have, the better your paintings are always going to be. This one I don't like, so I think I'm going to try to fix this. So that one was this. This is Paranone Orange. So I'm going to just try to put a bit of concentrated color in there. I think that's what it's missing, something in there. Yeah, maybe I'm just kidding myself. Maybe it's just an ugly one, that's all. These things happen, eh? In my upcoming video, I'm going to be making my own watercolor sketchbook because I'm going away for a little bit, and it's the first time that I'll be traveling with my watercolor supplies. So I want to make my own book. It'll be easy to carry around one thing. If I take a pad of paper, I don't have any one paper that I want to bring. I would like to bring a couple, so I'm going to make a couple of these books, and I'm going to do it in a video and see if you're interested. I hope you tune in. Okay, so now I'm going to go around because this is pretty dry. Oh yeah, that's nice. This pink though, no matter what you do to it, it's beautiful. I love that pink. This is called Bright Rose by Shin Han. It's BR12. So I don't know if that is a common color or, you know, I know in Shin Han that's what it's called, and I love it. The only thing is I've heard that it's fugitive, which means it's not light fast. So, you know, if you need your paintings to last 100 years, don't use it. If you're selling your painting and you know you don't know where the person's going to hang it in a bright window, don't use it. I don't know enough to say otherwise, but that would be me. I would not use it. Now I'll put another stem. I'll just darken this up a bit. Gonna try and fill those. When you use hot press paper, that doesn't happen to you because there's no grooves, there's no tooth to a hot press paper. Whoops, one more little leaf down here, and that's it for our little video. Well, that's not so beautiful, is it? I'll play with that. So I have to practice more with this brush. That's a bigger dagger brush. I have a smaller one from the same company. Awaken the Artist, it says. Don't you love that? Let's see if I can make it better. No. I still need practice with this too. Yeah. But it's always fun to and you know, you don't lose anything if you don't like the painting. It's just a practice painting. You can even, if you like to put, you can put a couple of little leaves underneath your flowers. You don't have to put them on all of it if you don't want, or you can. Kind of adds a little something something. There. And that's it. I'm calling it done. So give these a try, really. And above all, if you don't try these flowers, just doodle. Get your paints out, sit with your favorite drink and your favorite music or your favorite TV show or whatever, or just yourself, and doodle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It really makes a huge difference. And consider subscribing to the channel. Love to hear from you. Happy watercoloring. Bye-bye.